most grateful for this opportunity, and I'm sure there will be more opportunities, many of them. And I will make sure you know me better, and I'm sure we will come up with various ideas, various projects, various things, so that we celebrate together what it is to be an Armenian, what it is to bear an identity. I am taking this opportunity to say how proud I am to be an Armenian ambassador in this organization of the global community. I walk the corridors of the United Nations, which has 193 other nations, and I'm serious, I'm not joking. When I was saying to my colleagues, I was saying, look, how do they do these things in New York or the other thing in America? And they say, oh, look, as if you have problems. You have all those Armenians around you. And I was saying, yes. Yes, that's the case. This is what we are, this is how it goes. And they have every reason to do so, to say so, because when they walk the streets of New York, when they walk the streets of America, they see all those big things that are done by Armenians, all these big successes that are made by Armenians. And it is in America. My experience is not only to America, it's to other parts. I've seen this everywhere. I've seen this in France, I've seen this in Switzerland, I've seen this in Britain, and I know wherever I've been, it's cool to be Armenian.
All right! That's what we want to hear.
And I'm saying thank you to you, because it's cool to be an Armenian ambassador, because you have done all the job for me. And I'm really grateful to you. Yeah. I'm really grateful. This community is legendary, and I'm not joking. It's legendary. The New York community has done too much. In Armenia, your contribution to our statehood, to our country, is very well known. Mm-hmm. And I'm really grateful to you. Today, it's 23 years now. 23 years I'm in this job, 23 years my country is independent. 23 years we have seen everything. I think Armenia is a very good country. It's not a Disneyland. One thing that we have to accept to ourselves. It's not something where you go and everything is hunky-dory and everyone is happy and all problems. We have bad people, we have bad things, because it's just a country like any other country. But it's our country. And it's so important to be part of the international community.
First, I'd like to thank Vera and Levon for hosting this, and it's a very interesting and nice event, a very good cross-section of all different walks of life of the Armenian community. And also Mr. Mnatsakanyan, the new ambassador to the UN, I was very happily impressed with his balance of the West and East trades, because most of the Armenians from the East, ex-USSR, they happen to have very different perspective of what charisma is, and they try to be very very reserved, thinking that if you have a good sense of humor, then you don't belong to the higher echelon. But in the West, if you're very stiff and you are very unfriendly, then that is a reflection of not being secure and not being self-sufficient in your own traits. So I think that Mr. Mnatsakanyan has a very good balanced traits of East and West charismatic perspective, and it was very happily welcomed by all the people attending here. He knows when to be humorous and he knows when to be serious, and we welcome him, and I'm sure we'll be seeing him much more often. And
I was very pleased, not surprised actually, pleased to see our new ambassador to the UN. Like all other Armenian ambassadors, his English is fluent. He knows diplomacy. I have to once again congratulate the government of Armenia that the diplomats they are sending to the United States are top-notch. I have met all sorts of diplomats. I have met Iranian diplomats, I have met Egyptian diplomats, I have met different diplomats because I occasionally am invited to UN. This quality is very, and not just here. I met ambassadors in Tehran, Armenian ambassadors. In India, we were invited to the embassies. Our foreign service is fantastic.
I felt so honored, and I felt so proud that our ambassador is such an eloquently spoken ambassador. I mean, he knows everything, and he really explained to us so well. But I had heard so many wonderful things about him from our previous ambassador, Ambassador Nazarian and Mrs. Nazarian. They were really raving about him and his wife. So, I mean, they were wonderful. He was wonderful, and I'm so happy that we have such a representative at the United Nations.
The message that he gave around being proud to be Armenian and how much support the diaspora worldwide has given. But he does it with a certain humor, which I think we need. He's very positive, and he also has captured a new spirit that I feel embodies this choice that we all have, which is either to surf the positive wave or to surf the negative wave. And he's definitely on the positive tip.
You know, he spoke very highly of the role New York Armenians have played in the life of Armenia itself. And I have to tell you, we have very powerful noble men here and noble women who have really stood by Armenia through thick and thin. What is your take of the situation today, and what can be done for Armenia these days?
Well, I think there's a transition afoot. I think that we've moved from the idea of giving to the idea of a win-win. And it feels to me like the foundation of this group has supported and built that sort of first layer of ramparts that we very much needed. And now as we move into the next generation, Armenia is on its feet. And it's not about charity. It's about finding the country in a way where we can find the win-win and form partnerships and move forward together as one Armenia.